All right, it is straight up 8 o'clock. Let's get going, at least here in Pacific time zone. It is. Again, this program is being brought to you by AskDocLive.com. Now, I know a lot of people like to be able to plug people into this program as a resource, because that's what we're here for. We're here as a resource to the community that shares alternatives to, which it's not really alternatives, it's getting back to nature and the way we were designed, but it shares what we can do on our own to be able to choose a journey that is towards better health. Whether it's maintaining health or regaining health, it doesn't matter. The body is an amazing machine and was designed to do some miraculous things when it's given the right stuff. So if you were sent or shared this video or sent to the Zoom by somebody specific, if you have any questions about getting the products that are mentioned here on this program, please get back with the person that shared this program with you. They have their own special way of ordering. Now, if you were not referred by somebody specific and you're here because of our newsletter or just found us online, we do have our store at AskDocLive.com that you'll be able to find the products that you hear mentioned on this program. We also have Dr. Wallach's most popular books there as well, and all of the recordings that we have of every program that we've done since we started almost a year ago. I can't believe that it's almost a year, John T. So I have with me my co-hosts, John T. McCollier and Nasima Omar and Ruth Ellen Sanchez, and we are here to help you find the information you need to gain better health. Now, I have to say that the content of this program is to provide educational information only on the importance of nutrition and supplementation in a world where our food supply is empty. In this program, we will be sharing nutritional options that are available through supplementation in a form that the body can readily absorb and utilize. And when the body can absorb it and utilize it, you feel the difference. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, and the FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. Diseases classified as being genetic are too commonly accepted, folks, and it's accepted as just the way things are, leaving a society that feels stuck with no way out. Well, we bring good news, as this genetic theory has been debunked through the science of epigenetics. Epigenetics has proven that you are an empowered individual and have more control than you think over your health journey. And we invite you to feel the difference in the options shared in this program. Now, speaking of epigenetics, we are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health. Welcome, Dr. Joel Wallach.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, and thank you for your entire team. Beautiful people all are here this morning. And of course, we want to talk about hydration today because the summer is coming, but I do want to start out by saying, by doing everything right, we can add 25 to 50 healthful years to everybody's life, save ourselves an enormous amount of unnecessary misery, save ourselves an enormous amount of money, and carry on with being able to be with your loved ones for another 25 to 50 years. Okay, let's look at what the record is around the world. Okay, quickly. Right now, if you look at the Philippines, their average lifespan is 69. And according to our government, the life expectancy for all human beings, regardless of race or where they originate from, the life expectancy is 155. Okay, our government came out with that about 3 weeks ago. So let's subtract 69.6, which is the average lifespan of a Filipino, from 155, and you get 85.4 that they're giving up. 85.4 years. They're giving up more years than they're actually living. Let's look at let's see here. Let's look at Japan. their average lifespan is 84, and you subtract that from 155, you get, let's see here, 72, okay? 72. So they're giving up 72 years. Let's look at, let's see here, let's look at China. Their average lifespan is 74. Subtract that from 155. They're giving up 81 years. You go to the UK, we're looking at England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. Their average lifespan is 81. They're giving up, let's see here, they're giving up 74 years. And then let's throw in, let's talk about the USA. Okay, let's look at the USA. Our average lifespan is 79. It had been 78.5. It just went up a couple of months ago to 79, which is good. But you subtract 79 from 155, we're giving up 76 years. And then you look at emergency room physicians. You've heard me talk about this before. Emergency room physicians, their average lifespan is only 57. You subtract that from 155, they're giving up 98 years in longevity because they don't know anything about longevity. They may be good about stopping bleeding when you're run over by a truck, but when it comes to longevity, they don't know. So who are the longest lived people on Earth? Well, they're the Hunzas, okay, from the Shangri-La Valley, okay? Now, you've all heard of Shangri-La, and everybody says, well, yeah, that's a mythical place. No, it's a real place, okay? And it's between Pakistan and China. And their average lifespan, their life expectancy there is 120, but that's just kind of like the average. The ones who live the longest, they're super centenarians, live to be 160, 165, and so forth. This is all documented. It was put into a book in 1929 by a guy by the name of James Hilton. He was an investigative reporter for the New York Times and the London Times. And he was told about all these people claiming that they're all this age and they're selling their herbs and everything. So the New York Times and the London Times sent him there to Hunza to expose their fraud, right? He spent a year there and he says, this is real. And so he wrote a big article for the front page of the New York Times in 1929, wrote the book, Lost Horizon, became a movie in 1933, Lost Horizon. And so that's a beautiful story. And of course, we have the book, Immortality, and the CD, Beyond Immortality. And the book and the CD talk about all the things that the people who live a long time consciously avoid. They talk about all the things that people who live a long time consciously do. Okay, so that's in a collection of a lot of stuff. The information in that book and CD, Immortality, and the CD, Beyond Immortality, that will add, the information will add 25 to 50 healthy years of your life. Obviously, you got to stay away from the bad food, take your 90 essential nutrients and so forth. Now, let's talk a little bit about hydration, which is part of this deal. And that's why we got the best water on Earth. We got the Icelandic water from Iceland because they have all these volcanoes there, and it's one of the most mineralized waters on Earth. And they just had a big volcanic eruption a couple of months ago, first time in 600 years. So they renewed all these volcanic ash minerals on the island. And so we sell an enormous amount of this Icelandic water. I go through 4 quarts of that a day. Okay, and I only weigh 142 pounds. And so I go through 4 quarts a day, the Icelandic water. Plus, I drink 2 of our 10-ounce cans, or 12-ounce cans, whatever they are, of our Rebound, or sports drink with 100 nutrients in it. Has 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids. And so I'm making my drinks with all the powders and everything and crystals in the Icelandic water. Now here comes a beautiful thing. I don't know if you've heard of this, okay? For kids, you know, they're not going to drink a quart of Icelandic water with all these vitamins and minerals in it, although it tastes good, but you know, it's just too much. So we came up with a program. It's called Kids Toddy, like a hot toddy. Okay, a Kids Toddy, Toddy. It's a big multiple for them, liquid, tastes good. I mean, kids love it. They gobble it right down. And then we have a Cal Toddy, which is calcium and magnesium added to our plant minerals. Okay, tastes wonderful. And then we have our see here, Kids Sprinkles, which there's 30 little packets in the box. And it's sort of like, you know, in the midday, they can just put some sprinkles, you know, a glass of water, something like that, or they can just dump it in their mouth. And then we're coming up, we're ready to come out with it, with our, see, what are they called? Our Kids Chewies, or whatever they are, okay? So these gummies, there you go, Kids Gummies. Okay, so we got the kids gummies. Okay, we have the kids toddy, we have the kids sprinkles, and we have the cal toddy. So, and they're designed for kids from birth until 12 or 15 years old. Then they can graduate to the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and that kind of stuff. Now, here's the deal. If the mother is breastfeeding the baby, she needs to take the 90 essential nutrients. So it's coming through the breast milk. Okay, just eating well and taking one a day with 30 or 27 nutrients in there, that's not even a third of the 90. Okay, the baby's going to be cheated and have all these problems, and you're going to pay the price in the baby's health and you know, being miserable and expenses and all that kind of stuff. Maybe be worse than that. Okay, but then if you're going to be giving the baby the Infamil and Similac, you know, the milk replacers, then you definitely need to go with the kids sprinkles, the kids toddy, the cal toddy, and when they're old enough to chew stuff and swallow it, they can get the kids gummies. Okay, and so we're so excited about this, that this is going to be the push for the rest of my life for the next 50 years. Okay, because the kids have to start out good with all this stuff. And don't forget the Icelandic water, because it has all these minerals in it. And when you look at the blue zones where the people live the longest, you know, Dan Buettner is the guy who came up with the concept of the blue zones. And I asked him, why did you call it the blue zones? Well, we used a blue marker to circle them on the map. So we called it, I thought there was some scientific reason to call it blue zone. We just use a blue marker to identify them on a map. Well, these are countries who have the highest percentage of 100-year-olds per population. And we're talking about, let's see here. We're talking about the volcanic islands off of Greece and off of Italy. We're talking about the Nicoyan Peninsula off of Costa Rica. And then we're also talking about, let's see here, Okinawa, okay, the volcanic island off of Japan. And then, of course, we have the Seventh-day Adventists in Loma Linda, California. Those are the 5 places on Earth that are considered the blue zones. Okay, well the Seventh-day Adventists, they consciously avoid bad stuff. As you know, penalty of death if you eat anything bad. Well, you're going to die anyway if you eat bad stuff. And then they're very, very big on supplements. I mean, you have to take a lot of supplements if you're a Seventh-day Adventist. Now, this Daniel Buettner, he observed something that was correct. No doubt about it. These people have the highest number of 100-year-olds per population, higher percentage, and they hydrate and they do all the right stuff, especially during the summertime. But then people ask him, the reporters ask him, why do these people live so long? He said, well, because they're happy. No, they're happy because they live so long. Okay, he had it backwards, but the observation was correct, but his interpretation of how they got there was not correct. So when you look at them, they're all volcanic island people, except for the Seventh-day Adventists. All righty. So hydration, hydration, hydration. Don't forget our rebound. Don't forget our Icelandic water. And of course, our liquids. I like the liquids, especially for the kids, because they're not going to be big on drinking a lot of liquids. But we do have cherry mints. It's a liquid, our plant minerals with a cherry extract in it. We have the strawberry kiwi minerals, which are liquid minerals with a strawberry kiwi in it. And the kids toddy, oh my gosh, you just need to go online and look at the label. I apologize that I don't have it in front of me, but it's the most complete kids supplement on earth. Kids toddy, cal toddy, kids sprinkles, kids gummies, and Icelandic water. Don't forget the rebound if they're old enough to, you know, drink anything other than milk and that kind of stuff. Instead of juice, you give them the rebound. Okay, so I can throw that back to you because you will add 25 to 50 health years to your life if you do everything right.
Doc, I want to ask you, is the root beer belly a great product for kids from birth to what age? That's another nice, great kids product. My grandkids love it.
Okay, yeah, my grandkids take it too, but it's a probiotic, okay? It's to give them the natural bugs that make your intestinal environment healthy so it can do its job. It's not a source of nutrition directly, but it promotes healthy nutrition because it makes your intestines healthy. So it tastes good. Kids love it. It's a good thing to add. I put it in my drinks. Okay, just tear off one of the little things and sprinkle it in there and throw it in there. There's so many things in my drink, I can't taste it, but it tastes good. Kids love it. It's called root beer belly. But it's not a nutritional supplement per se. It's a digestion absorption enhancer. Okay.
Thank you, Doc.
Well, that's why we love you. You love those kids. Anybody who loves kids, I'm on their side.
That's fantastic. As a grandmother myself, my kids love the Cred sprinkles. They love the root beer belly. I have one who gets upset tummies often, and she's like, Nana, do you have any root beer belly? And I always keep it in my purse.
And how old is she?
She's 5 now.
See, now she knows more than most doctors.
Yes,
I just find that great.
Well, my son said, Mom, I don't know what you're giving her, but she keeps asking for root beer belly when her tummy hurts. And I was like, okay, I'm sending you a box.
No oatmeal for breakfast. No cream of wheat. No oatmeal. No flour
That's right.
tortillas.
No
Got to get off
Cheerios.
all. No Cheerios. No gluten. No gluten. No Wheaties. No breakfast of champions. Got to get rid of all that stuff. No pancakes. No waffles. No French toast. No spaghetti.
Unless
No
they're gluten-free.
chicken noodle soup. Well, yeah. That's why I like chicken rice soup. Okay, because I can see it when I go to a restaurant. If they have chicken rice soup, I'll eat that. And I'll just ask the waitress, you know, I'm going to investigate and see if this has any gluten in it. Okay. If it doesn't have gluten in it, you'll get a good tip. If it has gluten in it,
Oh, Dr. Wallach, when we talk about dehydration, there are so many health conditions that are related to dehydration. Can you share some of the most common with us?
Yes. Gluten intolerance, kidney failure, diabetes, because you're peeing all the time when you have diabetes. Okay. And so you're peeing out fluids faster than you take them in. And so you have to appreciate, you have to kind of guesstimate, okay, did I pee out, when I just visited the bathroom, did I just pee out 2 cups of urine or a quart or what, you know, what I pee out? Because I got to replace the fluid. Okay. And who knows how many nutrients you're having in your urine too. And so really people have to jump on these things right away and say, well, you know, I've had diabetes all my life. And so, you know, I'm going to take it easy and not try and get rid of it too quickly. No, you don't want to have it 1 minute longer if you can avoid, right? Because it's taking time off your life, and it's going to make you miserable in the last minutes, days, weeks, or months. You don't want to go there because doctors, that's when they love it. In your last months of life, when you have diabetes, they amputate your feet and they amputate your legs. They do all these surgeries on you because you're complaining about your legs and this, that, and the other. Well, we'll just cut your leg off and it won't feel bad anymore. Okay. And the first question you need to ask your doctor when they start talking like stuff like that, we're going to put you on dialysis 6 days a week. So you don't have to worry about peeing anymore. We'll do it for you. And you have to ask them, doctor, do you have a kid in college? Yes. Is tuition due this month? And they'll turn red as a beet because tuition is due that month. And that's why they want to do all these procedures on you. Just remember, doctors are taught to manage disease, not to prevent or cure disease. Doctors purposely, proactively, by the medical schools, taught to manage disease and not cure it or prevent it.
So now as folks get older, they start noticing that they're peeing more often. And so they cut back on water. Thinking that it's going to keep them from peeing so often. So share with us a little bit about the damage that can cause to the body.
Okay. Well, first of all, so why are you peeing more often as you get older? It's because you're shrinking the disc. You have degenerative disc disease because you're not giving your body what it needs to maintain your disc thickness. The vertebrae get closer together and they begin to smash the spinal nerves, and the spinal nerves in your lumbar area, the sciatic nerves, okay, control your bladder. When they get squeezed, they say, oh, I'll pee so I'm not uncomfortable, because your vertebrae above and below them are squeezing them. And that's why this goes on as you get older. And these are the same people who have hammer toes and numbness and tingling and pain in their feet and ankles and legs and so forth. The doctor wants to give them a double knee replacement, double hip replacement, and all that kind of stuff. They do back surgery on them and put artificial metal disc in and this, that, and the other. But they haven't really dealt with the basic root cause of the problem, which is a nutritional deficiency and absorption problem because they're eating gluten and not supplementing. But they have you heard of the term herd immunity?
Oh yeah, we have a farm.
Okay, well, what does herd immunity mean to you?
Herd immunity is if everybody gets sick, then they get over it, and basically they've built up an immunity to it.
Or they get vaccines, right?
Or they get vaccines.
Yeah, or whatever. And so herd immunity talks about a community that's immune for whatever reason. Either they've survived it and they've got natural antibodies against it, or they got a vaccine, either way. And farmers and veterinarians refer to that as herd immunity, because when the entire herd is immune, you don't have to worry about the disease for a year anyway. Okay, that's the deal. And so why would they use that term? Why would a doctor use that term for his patients? Okay, well, here's why. You're hesitating too long. You're having to think about it. Okay, because he's treating his patient's community, the patient community in his practice, as a dairy herd. And he's milking them every day. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, come in and get your little bowl of grain. Okay, here's your lollipop for coming in. Okay, oh, he was so nice. He gave my kid a little lollipop. And then he charged my insurance $10,000. Okay, so when you have herd immunity, that means that you're going to your doctor all the time and he's happy. So why would they use a veterinary term? Because they're treating their patient community as a dairy herd.
Well, you know, when you spell it out that way, it does make sense, Dr. Wallach, because the more people keep coming back, the more money that they earn. And
it freaked me out that they used that term. I said, I knew that, but here they are, they're admitting it. They're announcing it to the world in their news releases. We want herd immunity. We want to treat you like a dairy herd.
Oh, goodness. So, okay, so let's go back to dehydration. Your body needs fluids to make blood. We need it to keep our skin healthy, to think clearly.
Well, 40% of our body weight is fluid.
Only 40.
Yeah, 40% is just liquid fluid floating around in your bloodstream and this and the other. Another 20% is fluid inside the cells of every tissue and organ in your body. So you might have a total of 60, 70% fluid from all compartments, if you will, in your body. And so this is why you have to stay hydrated, not only so that you don't dry up and turn into a bowl of powder, but also because to get nutrients from A to B, to get your red blood cells floating around so you can bring oxygen to the different parts of your body, to bring antibodies through your blood, you have to have fluid to get from here to there. White blood cells and platelets have to get from here to there in a fluid environment to get there. I mean, how else are you going to get the platelets from your bone marrow to your liver? Okay, if you don't have a liquid system to get them there. Okay, so this is why it's imperative, and that's why we said we have to have a water, but we don't want just, you know, a bottled water which you can get from any store, you know, in these little quart bottles of water. They come in 6-packs and cases and all that kind of stuff. Or you can buy one at a time, but it's just water, okay? And so it doesn't have much in it. And they purposely, this water is filtered and filtered and filtered, and in some cases, it is water that they've heated up, and so the steam comes over here and precipitates. It's just 100% water. All the other stuff that was in the water, the minerals and things, are left in the pot at the beginning. Okay, so all you're getting is H2O. Well, that's why we have our pink Himalayan salt. Everybody needs salt, sodium chloride. Your membranes in every cell in your body won't work without sodium and chloride to move things in and out of the cell. It's part of the enzymes and biological systems that are required. Okay, salt. So why did doctors say salt is bad? Every doctor who says salt is bad and you shouldn't be using salt should be put in jail. Because salt is one of the first nutritional supplements. Go back to the beginning of time. Everybody knew that salt was important, because if you didn't take salt, you didn't last long. Okay, especially in the heat in the deserts of the Middle East and all that kind of stuff, you had to have salt. Okay, so why did doctors over 100 years ago start saying salt was bad? Well, people started getting, after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street in New York City, in the bluff overlooking the construction of Brooklyn Bridge. You've heard that before. Thomas Edison and Jonathan Leaves pulled the switch in the first commercial electric generating plants. Within 10 years' time, all those wood ashes that you had in the stove and the fireplace and the fire pits to put in the gardens as fertilizer and put in grandma's stew and her soup and stuff as a source of minerals for her, because the wood ashes were really minerals. That all went away. That all went away. And they never replaced it with any other source. And so people began to get edema in their legs, especially when they had congestive heart failure and kidney disease and liver disease and stuff. They're getting edema in their legs. And doctors learned that if you give up salt, that'll help reduce that fluid in your legs, that edema. So they said, okay, salt is bad. Stop using salt. Well, that's one of the reasons why we have so many people we have 40% obesity in America. That's because people gave up salt. A salt deficiency causes obesity. Well, how does that happen? Well, why do we put a big salt block out in the middle of the pasture for cows? Because when they're deficient in salt, they go up there and they'll stand there all day licking that salt block. The red ones have trace minerals added to it. So we know they're getting trace minerals when they're licking that salt block that's red instead of white. Well, if you're not putting salt on your food because your doctor says, oh my God, don't use any salt because you have high blood pressure. Well, salt doesn't cause high blood pressure. Okay, it's your kidney releasing a hormone called renin because the arteries are blocked that take the dirty blood into the kidney. It can't get enough blood to do its work. So it's releasing this hormone called renin, drives your blood pressure up. Okay, so that's why they run together, high blood pressure and kidney disease, or, one is part of the other. And so it comes down to, again, they made a huge mistake. Okay, all these diseases that appeared 10 years after they pulled the switch and gave up wood for fuel. Well, guess what? They called them genetic diseases. Can't do anything about them. We can just manage them. We can just treat the symptoms. Oh my gosh, they all need to go to jail. Okay. And then they said, look, you're overweight. That's because they weren't getting minerals. So they were hungry. They had pica, P-I-C-A, that behavior all the time. Eat, because they're deficient in salt. And so they started gaining weight because they're eating all the time. They say, look, you're eating too much animal fat. These are doctors saying this. You're eating too much animal fat. Give up animal fat. No animal fat. But I do want you to eat more whole grains. And so everybody started eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it killed their intestines, and it made the, quote, genetic diseases and the autoimmune diseases like lupus and fibromyalgia and psoriatic arthritis and RA and all that kind of stuff more frequent. But they're not genetic. They're not autoimmune. They're just simple nutritional deficiency diseases because people are avoiding salt and eating more whole grains and killing the intestines with gluten. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. So I hope that kind of around long way it wasn't a simple answer.
No, it's not a simple answer, but there's a simple solution.
That is correct. And don't forget, you go to our division, okay, which has all of our spices and stuff in it. Okay, savor. Yeah, the savor division. I have our pink Himalayan salt. I had it on my 3 eggs I have this morning for breakfast. They're soft boiled, along with my 2 big slices of smoked smoked Alaskan salmon, red sockeye salmon from Alaska. I wanted the freshwater salmon. And then the 3 eggs, I put my salt, pink Himalayan salt on it. I also had 3 big scoops of wild rice. So I put the pink Himalayan salt on that. And for dinner, I have either rice or baked sweet potatoes with butter, and I put the pink Himalayan salt with our black pepper ground up in it. And it comes in granules the size of BBs. And so we take a hand coffee grinder, and we put this pink Himalayan salt and the pink Himalayan salt black pepper ground in, and we grind it up with this hand coffee grinder. Okay, and it just makes it like little salt granules, and I put that into our food twice a day. And again, I'm 82 years old, don't have any problems. And most people think I'm in my 50s because, I look like I'm in my 50s instead of look like I'm 100. Okay, and that's because I've been gluten-free for 74 years and taking the 90 essential nutrients for 74 years as of about 2 weeks ago.
And staying hydrated.
Well, that goes without saying. Now, I have to tell you that on our farm, grandma had a little vineyard and she would make wine. And so when I was a little kid, I'm getting a little shot glass, with maybe a half ounce red wine in it when I'm a little kid. By the time, 50 pounds, I'm getting a full shot glass full of red wine with dinner every night. And then when I'm a teenager, I'm getting 2 shot glasses of red wine at night, with dinner, of red wine. And because she's fertilizing it with all these wood ashes from the wood stove and the fireplaces and all that kind of stuff and getting minerals that way. And so I'm still taking red wine at dinner time. Now I'm getting they give me a full red wine glass full now. I think it's about like 3 ounces every night. Yeah, I've graduated. And tomorrow, every Saturday, I get 2 or 3 lamb chops, depending on how big they are, 2 or 3 lamb chops from Australia and sweet potatoes with butter. Oh my gosh. And a big salad. Oh my gosh. Okay. And every night I also get a third of a pint of gluten-free ice cream, different flavors. I like Rocky Road. I like white chocolate, berry, what do you call them? They're mushrooms. Okay. And I like pistachio ice cream and all that kind of stuff, but it's gluten-free. And so I have a third of a pint. So 1 pint lasts me 3 days. And I'm having the time of my life eating all this good stuff, taking my 90 essential nutrients and doing whatever I want to do because I have no infirmities. I have no pre-existing conditions.
Right. And you're focusing on the good things that you can have instead of, oh, I can't have that. I can't have that. I can't have that. Bringing yourself down. There's so many good things.
Gluten-free pizza.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason to go into a, food depression because you can't eat good stuff, because that's just something you're telling yourself because it's not true.
It's not true.
Gluten-free is absolutely just as delicious as any.
Well, this is what
diet.
the Asians do. Asians all over the world live on maize, corn, rice, sweet potatoes, beans, squash, and seaweed. They don't eat like Europeans. And so that's why they do much better when the plagues come around. They're already talking about the next one's starting already. The next one's starting up. Okay. So everybody still needs to use our hand sanitizer, use our colloidal silver, 2 droppers full under your tongue, 3 minutes for each meal and 30 minutes for bedtime, our colloidal silver. You'll need 2 of these little bottles every month to pull that off. And you need killer biotic. I take 3 of those twice a day. Okay. And you have to appreciate, plus all my 90 essential nutrients, plus all the secret sauces. I don't expect everybody to do all that, but you have to really be proactive here. And I drink, let's see here, I drink a minimum of 4 quarts of our Icelandic water a day. All right. I drink a minimum of 4 quarts of Icelandic water. And they're tall because they're narrow. Okay. They're not quite as big around as a typical quart bottle of water you buy from the store, but it's taller by 2 inches. So they're a little bit narrower. So they're tall and thin. And oh my gosh, they're so satisfying because of all the minerals in them, all that volcanic ash in there. And we're one of the biggest consumers outside of Iceland of that water. We kind of have a lock on a minimum amount every month, which we buy and have shipped to us because we want our people to have access to all those minerals that come from the volcanoes. And of course, that's what makes these people up in Hunza live to be 160 and their average lifespan is 120 because they live near the Giltar Glacier, which is grinding up the walls of all these canyons with all the minerals in them. And they're drinking the water, cooking in the water, putting the water in their fields and their gardens and things. And it's the minerals, and they're not getting all the fast foods. They don't have French fries. They don't have potato chips. They don't have hash browns. Okay, they don't have that stuff. And so they do grow rice and sweet potatoes and beans and corn and that kind of stuff. They just don't eat very little. I think probably they eat like 1/100th of the amount of wheat we eat. And it's very little. Maybe, once a month they'll have, one of these deep fried flatbreads or something like that. But it's very little. As a result, because they're getting all these minerals in their water and they're avoiding all the bad stuff because of their culture, because they're eating like Asians and not Europeans. There you go. As for the Philippines, they've had so many European nations in America because of all the wars going on in the Pacific and all this over the years. The Philippines have a very, very high rate of infections and deaths. Okay, and they have a very short lifespan compared to other people's. Okay, again, the Filipinos' average lifespan is 69. Okay, our average lifespan is 79. The Japanese average lifespan is 84. The average lifespan of the Chinese is 74. So the Filipinos is quite low, and it's not a genetic thing, but it's universal in the Philippines. It's a string of islands and things, but it's universal, okay, because of their diet, because they're eating for the tourists. You know, they have all these restaurants serve nothing but wheat, barley, rye, and oats. All their beers are wheat, barley, rye, and oats, all kind of stuff. And so they're getting gluten because of who it is they're working with. All the military bases from the US and Europe are there in the Philippines because it's a good location to go from all around the world in the Pacific. And so they want all those sailors and soldiers and Marines and Air Force people to buy their food. So they have American food, which is wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And that's why the Philippines have such a rough time compared to Vietnam. Okay.
So Dr. Wallach, there's so many people that are going into growing their own food. They're realizing that the nutrition is not in the food. They want to stay away from the pesticides and the herbicides, but they're not realizing that unless the minerals are in the soil that food is basically being grown in, those minerals are not all going to be in the final product either. Correct?
That's right, because plants only need 3 minerals to make good seeds for next generation. Farmers get paid by tons and bushels per acre. They do not get paid by how much nutrition is in the food. So they don't waste a lot of money by putting all 60 essential minerals in the soil. We came up with a fertilizer. It's called Bloomin' Minerals. It's the ground up plant minerals. It's not ground up rocks. There's a lot of products on the market which are ground up rocks, and they're bad because they have a lot of stuff in there you don't want. Okay, these are plant minerals. Okay, they go back millions of years, and we've harvested them. We have a lock on the source, and so we harvest them, and we give them, and we make them available in liquids, and we make them available in powders. We also make it available as very, I would say, basic a powder as a fertilizer. It's called Bloomin' Minerals, and we put that in our garden. We have a 5 acres we live on, and we have, I would say, a half-acre garden with maybe 8 different veggies in there. And then we have 12 or 15 fruit trees. We have bananas and apples and pears and pomegranates and oranges and kind of stuff. I said pomegranates. And so we fertilize them all. And our pomegranates are the size of grapefruit. Our tangerines are the size of grapefruit because they're putting these Bloomin' Minerals in there. The bananas are huge. Instead of weighing a quarter of a pound, our bananas weigh 1.5 pounds. They're huge. You just, you don't need to have a salad. Just eat one of our bananas with the rest of your meal.
Oh,
and
wow.
it's crazy. And they taste good because of all the minerals and everything. So yeah, we've been using the Bloomin' Minerals for at least 50 years.
And I love the fact that, you just sprinkle it on and then as you're
Yeah.
watering, but then there's also, it comes in a liquid.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you've got the colloidal minerals in a liquid that you can spritz on the leaves, absorb it through the leaves as well. So that leads me into the next question, Dr. Wallach. I had a question this week in regards to minerals, where ours are colloidal. Somebody had asked me, how do they differ then from ionic minerals?
Okay. Our minerals we extract from seaweed. Okay. Ionic minerals are ones where they've taken water, okay, and warmed it up and put minerals in there. And in warm water, a certain amount of that will be absorbed into the water, and then they're dissolved, which is an ionic form. Okay. Now, I don't know of many people who are going to go through the trouble of getting our, say, Bloomin' Minerals, okay, with 78 minerals in it, and warm up some water and put it in there and create over a period of a week. So it'll have some of those, it might have 50 or 60 or 70, because some of them are less soluble than others, right? And so why would you go through that? Why don't you just drink the cherry mints or the strawberry kiwi minerals or the plain minerals. We have them in the capsules if you don't want to drink all that liquid. Okay, the mineral caps. Okay, we have all that kind of stuff. One mineral cap has the amount of minerals in it as an ounce of our plant minerals. And so we've tried to come from every direction you can think of. Why would you want to spend hours a day making that kind of stuff? When you go to the grocery store and they're selling mineral water, let's see a breakdown of how many minerals are in there. Oh, there's usually 3, a little bit of calcium, some magnesium, and some phosphorus or something like that. That's it. Gatorade only has 2 or 3. Gatorade was primarily salt in the beginning. Okay, it was just salt water. Okay, and it had some fruit flavors in it. Same way with Red Bull. It's just salt water. Okay, because these athletes were falling out. And remember, the average lifespan of a professional athlete is 62, and you take all the sports combined. And basketball is 51. Why is that? That's why we came out with the CD, Dead Athletes Don't Lie, and let's see here, exercise without supplementation is suicide. Okay, because exercise can be a very, 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 very negative thing if you're not hydrating and you're not supplementing with these 90 essential nutrients. Exercise is a negative thing. Okay, because the average lifespan or the life expectancy of human beings is 155, and if athletes are dying at 62, okay, that's 3 and 6 is 9. Athletes are giving up 92 years of life by their methods. That doesn't sound too attractive to me.
No, it doesn't to me. And you were talking about Gatorade starting out with salt water.
It was just flavored salt water, yeah.
So minerals are electrolytes.
That's correct.
So when I add an ounce of plant-derived minerals to my 24 ounces of water or whatever I put in this, I'm getting mineral water every time I take a sip. I'm getting electrolytes and keeping my body hydrated. And I love being able to do that and how simple it is. I love that, Dr. Wallach.
And that'll contribute to you adding 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. I mean, it takes a lot of work to do all these things, avoiding all the bad stuff. That means how you eat, where you go to eat, where you shop, all that kind of stuff is important. You cannot have a job in a bakery, okay, because of all the gluten. You cannot go to the spaghetti factory. Why is that? Well, I'm only going to eat a salad and a dessert. I'm not going to eat the spaghetti. Yeah, well, the gal who's delivering the salad to you has just delivered 8 loaves of bread to the other 8 tables around, and she is covered in gluten.
Yeah. And
she's dripping her gluten all over your salad. Okay. And so you can't even go to those places because you're getting cross-contaminated. You can't work in, I'm not going to eat this stuff, but I do have to work. So I'm going to work in the kitchen there. Okay. Well, you're going to die early. Okay. Because you're getting all that gluten. You're breathing it in. It's on your skin. You'll absorb it. Come on. You can't tell me if you're working in a bakery, you're not going to have a slice of the bread or a flour tortilla or something. Or you work in a fast food place, kind of a Mexican food place. Okay. And you're not going to have flour tortillas. Oh my gosh.
So gaining and maintaining optimal health is intentional, folks. You've got to have intention with it.
It's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job, but when you focus on the things that you can have and not so much on the things that you can't have, it does make it so much easier. Dr. Wallach, we have lots of hands up. So let's go ahead and go to hands. And just as a reminder for everybody that's on here, as you're listening and you hear Dr. Wallach making recommendations of products, get with the person who invited you to this program so that they can help you get the products. Yes, we do have a store available at askdoclive.com for those who have not been introduced to these products by anyone ever. So we want to make sure that the person gets credit for them recommending or sending you here. And it's not so much credit, it's just as a thank you from you to them. Say, thank you so much for sharing this information with me. I want to make sure that I'm getting what I need, and they're there to be that person to help you get what you need. All right. So let's go to Susan, who has her hand up. Susan, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Thank you. I'm working with some people and some products. I'm also on the 90 and other products. I just drank some. I drank some product and it's all over my mouth. And I'm wanting to ask about two people that I'm working with. One is anorexic, or she's been diagnosed with anorexia or orthorexia. She's 16 years old. She weighed 104 pounds at 5'8" in January. Her parents have gotten her to 124 pounds. Her heart rate and sleeping is around 43. She has no menstrual period yet, and she's awake pretty much all night. She exercises anywhere from 2 to 11 hours a day. What can they do to help her? She's of course resistant to everything with this particular disease, and they're looking at institutionalizing her. That's my first question about this child.
Okay,
How can we
okay,
help her?
okay, stop. Okay, well, first of all, they need to tie her up. You can't be exercising 14 hours a day. That's insane. Okay. Okay, but first of all, she needs to use our pink Himalayan salt on her food. She's got to get rid of gluten, no wheat, butter, iron, oats. She got to live like an Asian, live on rice and sweet potatoes and fish and that kind of stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, iron, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. She can have our Rebound sports drink. Okay. And then at 125 pounds or whatever it is, 124 pounds now, I want her to have one health. Well, let's go the other direction here. Let's go the other direction. Let's give her the kids toddy. Let's give her the kids toddy. It's a liquid, very absorbable. Let's give her the Cal toddy. Okay. I want her also to have our EFAs. She's a couple of those twice a day, our EFAs. And she can have our sprinkles. She can have, again, the Rebound. And let's go there. Let's just start there. Okay. Okay. Second question.
Parents are motivating her as best they can before they can have to institutionalize her. So thank you. I'm going to send this recording to them, so hopefully they'll help. The other question is about Julia. She's here online, I see. I invited her to come, and I'm so happy you're here, Julia. She may want to talk for herself, but she was in a car accident and injured her spine. Julia, I don't know how much you weigh or how tall you are. Is it possible for you to say that out loud? I know you need to know what to do about this spine accident you're having.
Okay, let's go.
Go ahead, Julia.
Yes, I'm 142 pounds, 5 feet tall, and 77 years of age. And the T6 vertebra is cracked.
Okay, do you have any other issues? Let's see here. You weigh 142 pounds, you're 5 foot tall. You're
Yes.
42 pounds overweight. You need to lose about a third of your weight.
Right.
You know, because kind of you look like a big girl. You have gray hair. Do you have any varicose veins or hemorrhoids?
No,
Okay, do you have spider veins?
some, yes.
Okay. Do you have any diabetes or high blood pressure?
Blood pressure goes from 130 something to 150 something.
You have high blood pressure. The answer is yes, high blood pressure. Okay. Okay, and so let's see here. Do you have any arthritis other than that injury, that fracture? Do you have any arthritis in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your hands?
I don't know about other, but my left knee was injured in the accident, and I've got
Okay.
pain in the left knee.
Okay. Do you have any tinnitus, ringing in your ears or whooshing or anything like that in your ears?
Not much. When I do,
The-
I know how to deal with it.
Okay. And do you have any balance problems? Any vertigo, dizziness, anything like that?
Not much. Since the wreck, I've had a little bit, especially right after the wreck.
Okay. And let's see here. Have you lost your sense of smell or taste?
No,
Okay. You have anything going on in your feet and ankles? Any numbness or tingling in your feet and ankles?
no,
Oh, you have any numbness and tingling in your hands or your wrists?
no.
Okay. All right. We have osteoporosis in your skull, plus you have your fracture. And so this is not unusual. And so we need to do two things here. number one, you need to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones are bad for you. I also want you to, let's see here, take one meal a day. It doesn't have to be the same meal every day. One day could be lunch, 2 days in a row could be breakfast, or, however you want to do it. But one meal a day, I want you to have our keto caramel bar. Okay, take one keto caramel bar, 1 meal a day. And after about a month or two on that, go to 2 meals a day for 2 days a week. The other 5 days, just stay on 1 meal a day. Okay, the other 2 meals a day, you want to eat like an Asian, rice and sweet potatoes and fish and beans and that kind of stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, blah, 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 blah. Okay, then again, I want you to take, at 142 pounds, I want you to take, or excuse me, you're 100, yeah. That's correct, right? 142 pounds?
Yes.
Yeah, I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. The full dose, everything twice a day. I want you to get 1 bottle of our MSM, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. It's a big bottle. And they're designed to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone breaks the bone itself. So your osteoporosis of the skull, your joint problems, your vertebrae, your disc, your knees, and all that kind of stuff will heal. High blood pressure, your dizziness will go away. The ringing in your ears will go away. I also want you to, let's see here, your gray hair will go away. So when your hair color starts coming back, you're absorbing the nutrients. The high blood pressure, I want you to take 3 of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month, and they will support and promote healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. If you're on medication for high blood pressure, do not cold turkey off medication. But as your blood pressure begins to come down, you can slowly reduce the blood pressure medication based on the numbers. So let's start there. But I do need to hear from you every 2 weeks, and we need to know what your weight is, how you're doing, what's going on with your blood pressure, how's the little bit of dizziness, what's going on with your joints, okay, and what's happening with your hair color and so on. And you're going to have a great story. Your story will help a lot of people. So I do want you to call us and share your testimony. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay,
All
Rebecca.
right. Thank you, Julia and Susan. Next, let's go to Martin, who has his hand up. Martin, go ahead and unmute yourself. And if you can turn your camera on so Doc can see you, that would be fantastic.
I don't know how to turn the camera on yet, but
It looks like you have the camera on. It's just covered up. So go ahead and share with Dr. Wallach your question.
okay, let me see here. Let me see if I can fix that.
There you go.
I'm here. I'm calling for a friend of mine. She's having a lot of symptoms with
Oh, we don't see your face. There's no light on your face. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you're talking about a female. Okay. Not much.
Okay. Anyway.
That's better. Okay. Tell us about this
better?
lady. Yeah. Tell us
Okay.
about this lady.
All right. Well, she has a tingling in the lips that she gets repeatedly. She has a lot of fatigue. She's sick. And that's kind of daily when she gets up, and then it kind of wears off. She also has a diarrhea once a week. It comes and it goes. And,
okay, well, let me ask you some specific questions here. Does she have any gray hair or white hair?
Some gray hair, yes.
Okay, how old is she?
She's 56.
And what does she weigh?
171.
Okay. Does she have any high blood pressure?
No.
Okay. Any diabetes?
No.
Any skin issues? Any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or rosacea?
No.
Any diagnosed bowel problems such as irritable bowel syndrome, celiac disease, anything like that?
No.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, does she have any irregular heart rate or fast heart rate, anything like that? AFib or tachycardia?
No.
Okay. Does she ever get hiccups?
No.
Okay. Does she ever complain about ringing in her ears or dizziness?
She has some dizziness.
Okay. All right. She's got osteoporosis of the skull, and she's got osteoporosis. She's missing a lot of nutrients. She's got the gray hair. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's got the tingling in her lips. That's also is squeezing, okay, of the seventh cranial nerve, the facial nerve. She may even have Bell's palsy sometimes. One side of her face will droop or something like that, or feel numb. Okay. Okay. And then when she has this thing going on with the fatigue, that could be reactive hypoglycemia or narcolepsy. She has, let's see here, vertigo. Okay. And that's a squeezing of the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve by as she approaches to the skull. And the fatigue thing, again, can be narcolepsy, AKA reactive hypoglycemia. So three things she needs to do. Number one, get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no barley, rye, no oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even the diet ones. And then we want her at, let's see here, at, she's 171 pounds, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, 171 pounds. I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I want her to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 with each meal. And they're designed to support and promote maintenance, repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between vertebrae, bone, makes your bone itself. And then I also want her to have, let's see here, because of the fatigue, I want her to use our Rebound or Sports Drink. She can have 2 or 3 cans of those a day. I wouldn't have her take it after 3 o'clock because she might stay up all night for that, just, from all the energy she's gonna get from those. So she has to stop taking it by 3. I take 2 cans before 3 and I only weigh 142. And so also she needs to deal with our, let's see here, I'd have her take the de-stress capsules, take 3 of those twice a day. There's 2 bottles a month. And I also want her to take our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And they're going to support healthy blood pressure and healthy blood flow through blocked arteries. They're going to help support healthy function in her arteries in her brain. A lot of times people get, they do not only get plaque in their arteries and their coronary arteries in their heart, but they get plaque in their arteries in their heart. They also have them in their brain and their kidneys and every place else. And so we have to deal with that. That's why the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. That's going to get more blood supply to her brain, along with those de-stress capsules. And so let's start there. That's a handful of stuff, but getting rid of the bad foods helps. And let's see here. I didn't get how tall she was.
Yeah. One other thought too is she also has the herpes 2 type simplex. Does that influence any of this?
Well, herpes, she needs to take the, let's see here. She needs to take the colloidal silver. Okay, she can take 2 droppers full under her tongue, 30 minutes for each meal, 2 droppers full under her tongue, 30 minutes for bedtime. And the colloidal silver kills every virus you can name. Okay, we're talking about shingles, herpes, you name it. Okay, COVIDs, Asian flu, polio, rabies. Okay, colloidal silver kills everything. It was the antibiotic at the time for thousands of years until they came along with penicillin and made it a prescription drug. And so doctors gave up the colloidal silver because anybody could go into a hardware store and buy some colloidal silver, which farmers use in their animals. You can use it on yourself. And so they went to this prescription stuff, so everybody would have to come in to get a prescription for the penicillin. But it was used for thousands of years in colloidal silver. I've been doing it for 25 years. Again, I'm 82 years old, and I see thousands of people, sometimes every day, certainly every week, hugging and shaking hands and all that kind of stuff. And I don't have any problems because I've been taking the colloidal silver 4 times a day, once before each meal and once before bedtime for 25 years. So, I'm also a personal testimony on how it works. And I'm sure I've run into every kind of virus you can think of. Okay.
Okay. Well, on the silver, I guess there's a lot of, what do you call it? I guess, widespread thought by the FDA, et cetera, that it is.
Okay, I'm missing that. I'm hearing mumbling. I can't hear what you're saying.
Sorry about that. Are there any side effects with the silver?
Yeah, you get well.
Okay. And one last question. What do you consider about the Kona water? You mentioned your waters earlier. You believe the water? Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know much about the water in Hawaii. I do know that they have, a lower rate of coronavirus infections than people with similar populations, okay? But it's still much higher than the equal population in Okinawa, okay? Because again, Hawaii, after bombing of Pearl Harbor, we've been there with our sailors and Marines and Army and cruise ships and all this kind of stuff. So there's so much gluten going on in Hawaii that Okinawa, same population almost exactly, you know, like 1.5 million people. And Okinawa has 0 dead from the coronavirus and only 4 infections. Hawaii has 37,000 infections and 500 dead. Okay, huge difference. That's because Okinawa lives like Asians and just eats nothing but rice and sweet potatoes and beans and squash and seaweed. And the in Hawaii, they eat the breakfast of champions, Wheaties, oatmeal, cream of wheat, flour tortillas, but they're not Spanish, no. But so many people in the Marines and the Army and the Air Force are, and they want that stuff, and so they have it there. And so the kids growing up in Hawaii eat the way that the military eats.
I see. I see. And regarding her condition as well, she has a high toxic level in her blood. What does that actually mean?
Okay, she has a high what?
Toxin level.
I'm
They ran
still
a
missing
blood
that.
test. Yeah.
It's a
saying
high
toxins,
toxin
Dr.
level.
Wallach?
Okay,
Toxin.
3. Can one person tell me what he's saying?
She has high toxin levels in her blood.
Okay, what does that mean? What is high toxin levels? Who did that? Was it a blood test? Was it some hippie saying, put his hand on her head and said you have high toxic blood levels?
It
or
was a
something?
blood test.
Okay, and so I need to know what toxic levels mean. Does she need to urinate more? You know, whatever. I need to know something here. Okay, so toxic level doesn't mean anything. There's 4,000 toxins out there. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, I don't know what that means. So at any rate, she needs to get rid of all the bad stuff, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. But I would get a hair analysis of her. And if she has any of these toxic metals like lead and arsenic and stuff like that, well, arsenic is an essential nutrient in small amounts, but say lead and mercury, and we need to know if she has that kind of stuff. Does she have uranium in her? Does she work in a factory or near a factory where she's going to get these toxic metals? Okay. And so I want to know when she says you got high toxic levels, let's get a hair analysis, get the book, Rare Earths and Cures. It tells you how to collect the hair, how to package it, where to ship it. Don't forget to put the check in there because they won't run the test without it. And you'll get 2 charts. One chart will tell you if she's absorbing, because if all the bars for all the nutritional minerals, which are 60, are down below the line, okay, that means she's not absorbing. If they're kind of all over the place, that's more typical of normal. Okay, some will be low, some will be optimal. But there's also a second chart which deals with only the toxic metals. Okay, so this is all if she thinks and somebody's told her she's got toxic blood. You know, I need to know what that means. There could be nothing. They don't know what to tell her, and so they're just saying that because they don't know what to tell her. Or if it's toxic, what's making it toxic? Does she have liver cirrhosis? You know, does she have something? Do you know she's had appendicitis when she was a kid?
No.
Okay. Does she have irritable bowel syndrome or celiac disease?
No.
Okay. Does she have skin issues, eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, or rosacea?
No.
Okay. She just has toxic blood. Okay. I need that hair analysis and then I can answer the question more specifically. But right now, just get her on the 90, get her off all the bad stuff, and get that hair analysis and then call us back.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. You bet.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you, Martin. Now, Dr. Wallach, we're at the top of the hour, so let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. Everybody, don't go anywhere. You are on live with Ask Doc Live. And again, all of the recommendations that are hearing on this program, you can find those products on the AskDocLive.com website. If you have specific questions, you can click on the Contact Us and send an email in with your specific questions, and one of our certified health coaches will respond to your question with what Dr. Wallach would recommend for you. We will be right back, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. All right, love seeing a full room and all of these hands up. We will be getting to as many as possible. I'll try to get things moving along. We have lots of questions in the chat as well. And this program, again, is being brought to you as a resource. There's so much information out there, and we are bombarded by advertisements on the television and radio and social media. We just want to make sure that you have information that has been, well, it's over 50 years of research that Dr. Wallach has put into this. He has not stopped. He's written many, many publications. You can find those on our AskDocLive.com website. And this information is coming from not just him looking at somebody else's data, but data that he has been very instrumental in being part of the whole process. And I love that he is start to finish, beginning to end, he is on top of it and bringing that information from his research to us and coming up with the formulations that are made specifically for us. You know, our body needs a specific amount of nutrients, and he didn't find it anywhere else. So what did he do? He was instrumental in a formulation of products that, one, the body can absorb, and two, it provides everything that the body needs. So thank you, Dr. Wallach, and welcome back.
Well, thank you, Rebecca. I'm glad to be back.
Good, good. So before we get started, there's a couple of quick questions that I think we can answer.
Sure.
I've got somebody wanting to know, can you put too much wood ash in your garden?
Well, the simple answer, of course. You can put too much wood ash in your garden. And so, you know, what you want to do is in the rows in between the plants, you have rows, right? You want to put maybe a 2-inch swath of wood ashes, maybe a 1/4 of an inch deep along the path, okay, between the two rows. And again, wood ashes are highly variable in the amount of minerals they have. It depends where the tree grew. The tree doesn't make minerals, but if there's 3 minerals in the soil, there'll be 3 minerals in those wood ashes. If there's 18 minerals in the soil, the tree wood ashes will have 18 minerals, and that's how it's kind of variable. So you still have to supplement, even though you're putting wood ashes in the garden. But in the old days, putting wood ashes in your garden was the supplement of the day for thousands of years. For thousands of years, people were putting wood ashes in the garden. And then during the days of the pharaohs and the Hebrew slaves, there was an herbalist in Egypt who started drying seaweed and giving the dried seaweed to people with goiter, and the goiter would go away. Now, they didn't know what the thyroid gland needed specifically until the 1920s, when there's some biochemists came along and analyzed seaweed and see what was in there that was making the thyroid happy. Iodine, of course, but they knew that there was something in seaweed that people who ate the seaweed never got goiter. If they had goiter, it'd go away very quickly. So there's something magic in the seaweed, you know, for the thyroid gland. And so that's why we have 2 big seaweed products. We have the Ocean's Gold from one ocean, and then we have the Fucoid Z from the other ocean. And both of them have a different, say 8 to 9 different seaweeds and algae in them for all these minerals come from. And I take 3 of the Ocean's Gold twice a day, and I take 3 of the Fucoid Z twice a day. And in addition to everything else, I mean, I take so much it would freak people out. I probably take more, you know, than 10 people put together. Okay. But then I'm 82 years old and can kick butt.
This is true. This is true. So the next question, Dr. Wallach, somebody wants to know, can you take too much zinc?
Well, you can take too much of anything. Okay. You read the directions and you see what the directions say. What's the dosage rate? And so that's like, you know, with kids, the kids' toddy tastes good, but there's a directions in there that tells you how much to give them per, you know, body weight. And, don't let them drink the whole bottle because they'll have diarrhea at the very least, right? You don't want to cause that kind of stuff. And so you just follow the rules when it comes to the suggestions for dosage, and, things go well. And so you can take too much oxygen. Oxygen is one of the most inflammatory things there are, literally speaking, okay? And so you get all kinds of inflammation when people are in the hospital and are being given oxygen. If they give them too much oxygen, that can be a negative because it oxidizes, causes plaque in the arteries. Too much oxygen causes plaque in the arteries because it causes inflammation in the arteries, right? And so same thing with the liver. The liver likes oxygen because it does 40 different things. But the liver, when people have liver cirrhosis, they say, oh, you must be drinking. No, I never took a drop of alcohol in my life. I don't know why I have liver cirrhosis. Well, you have multiple nutritional deficiencies. See, because when you're drinking alcohol and you're craving, you're going through withdrawals, you're going to drink more alcohol. You're not going to take vitamins and minerals. And so that's why people who drink alcohol typically have liver cirrhosis, not because of the alcohol, but because of the nutritional deficiencies. Okay.
All right. All right. So it makes sense. It makes sense. The body, when it doesn't have everything it needs, the cells aren't going to generate the way they're supposed to, right?
Yeah, can't regenerate, can't function properly. You get fatty liver cirrhosis. You get, you get yellow all over, because you're getting blocked. Yeah, jaundice because you're getting blocking the bile ducts in the liver because it's swelling up and closing off those bile ducts. And so instead of coming out in the bile into your intestines to help you absorb nutrients, it's getting into your bloodstream, and that's why you look yellow. Okay. And again, it's because you have nutritional deficiency. It's not the alcohol doing that. It's nutritional deficiencies doing that. So one of the things people want to do if they're going through rehab, when they put them on rehab from alcohol, they're going from alcohol to prescription narcotic drugs. Okay, he's not an alcoholic anymore, but he does have to come in once a month to get his prescription so he can take his narcotic drugs. Well, what kind of deal is that? Okay, but they're still not giving him any nutrition because they want herd immunity.
Yep. Yep. Oh, goodness, Dr. Wallach, we could go on and on about that one. But let's go to a next hand. Julie, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Okay, good morning. Thank
morning.
you. I've got questions for two friends of mine.
Okay.
First one, it's a lady. She's 5 foot tall. She weighs 150, 155, and she's 57 years old. And she has been feeling horrible, obviously, but the biggest problem is that she says that she has high ferritin levels. They're like 293. And she has been told by her doctor, who is a naturopathic doctor, that she cannot take any supplements with iron in them. So, and she's got big brown patches on her arms. She has terrible muscle cramps at night. She wakes up during the night with a racing heart and short of breath. And just recently, her feet are itchy, scaly, and dry. Are they all related?
Okay, you have to stop moving furniture around.
Oh, what do you mean?
I'm hearing dragging noises or something.
That was my paper. That was my paper. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So, any rate, she's 5 foot tall.
Yes.
Okay, she's 50 pounds overweight. She needs to lose a third of her body weight. And okay. Now, the reason why she has all these brown spots under her skin, I mean, are we talking as big as a quarter or as big as a BB?
Oh,
or
no,
as big as a loaf of bread?
About this big. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, like a slice of bread almost. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is probably hemorrhage, okay? Because she has bone marrow issues and she doesn't make enough platelets. That's why her iron level is going up because she can't use it to make hemoglobin. So the doctor needs to go back to school. Okay. Because you can't give up iron, but why? You have to ask, why is it the iron is going up? Iron is a raw material to make hemoglobin, but if you can't make hemoglobin, iron just keeps going up in the blood because it can't. Where's it going to go? Okay, it's not being utilized. Well, she's bleeding under the skin because she has problem. She's not getting the platelets made in the bone marrow. She probably has bone marrow dysplasia and probably anemic on top of it. Okay. And so the doctors are going to want to give her transfusions so she has platelets, so she's not bleeding under the skin. They'll also say, you know, we got to give you a bone marrow transplant because you have bone marrow dysplasia. Your bone marrow is now nothing but scar tissue and fat. You can't make platelets and white blood cells and red blood cells. That's why your iron is going up, okay, because you can't utilize the iron. So then I want her to start out with, again, none of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, butter, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, especially the diet ones. Now I have to ask a question. Do you know if she's ever had appendicitis when she was a kid?
No, she hasn't.
Okay. All right. Does she have gray hair like you?
Yes.
Does she have varicose veins?
No,
Okay.
but she does
All
have
right.
hemorrhoids.
Okay. Well, that's varicose veins in a funny place.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Same thing, just in a funny place.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So here we go. She needs to get rid of all the bad foods. Then she needs to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose of everything twice a day. I also want her to have one meal a day, our keto caramel meal. Okay. It doesn't have to be the same meal every day. And after a month or so, she can go to 2 meals a day, keto caramel meal, 2 meals a day for 2 days a week. The other 5 days a week, stay on 1 meal a day. Okay. And
Mhm.
she'll lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. Then I also want her to have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. That's going to support and promote a healthy blood flow through blocked arteries and all that kind of stuff, and support healthy blood pressure. I also want her to have our MSM. She needs 2 bottles of MSM, so she can take 3 with each meal. And they're designed to support and promote maintenance, repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes your bone itself, because her bones going through osteoporosis is what's causing all these other problems with the
Okay.
iron going up and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
Hmm.
And then she needs vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day to be able to absorb the minerals and put them in the right place. She needs our collagen. She can also take our Cal Toddy. She can take 2 doses of our Cal Toddy a day. It tastes very good and it's a liquid. She can put it with her other liquids or just take it straight. She can also take our Glucogel, 5 capsules twice a day. And that'll be 2 bottles a month. Let's go with that. And I want to call us every 2 weeks with her. I want to know what she weighs. I want to know, if she goes in for a blood test from the doctor, is it changing any? Is it getting worse, staying the same, getting better? Okay,
Yeah.
we need to know what's going on. Okay.
Okay. And still with her, the doctor said her iron level's good, but the ferritin was off. Are they the same thing?
Well, ferritin is just iron and a protein mixed together.
Oh, okay. And so, all right.
It's a word.
Okay.
It's a word game.
Ah, okay. All right. Okay. Well, thank you. The second lady, she has, excuse me, let me get the right paper here. She's 64 years old. She weighs 180 pounds and she's 5'1.5". She has high blood pressure and, just some different things. But she's concerned about her memory troubles, and she wakes up like 3 to 4 times a night to use the restroom.
Has she shrunk any, do you know?
She
Since
believes she has about a ½ inch to an inch is all.
Okay.
Well, still.
And she has gray hair and varicose
Yes.
veins?
Yes, gray hair, hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids, yes.
Okay, so veins, okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Now I'm hearing garble in the background. I don't know if it's my echo or your echo or somebody in the
I don't know.
background talking or,
Not here. I'm trying not to move my papers. I put them down.
okay, thank you. But I'm still hearing garble in the background. That's better. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes, we hear you fantastically.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so at 180 pounds, she only is 5'1". She needs to lose 70 to 80 pounds. Okay, so she needs start out with 1 meal a day, our keto caramel meal. She needs 3 boxes. They come 10 bars in a box, so she's gonna need 3 boxes a month. So you can take 1 bar a day. But after a month or 2, I want her to go to 3 days a week, where she's gonna have 2 meals, the keto meal. the other 4 days, stay on 1 meal a day. Then I want her again to give up all the bad stuff, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bran, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, no diet drinks. And then I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I want her to have the MSM. I want her to take 3 with each meal. That's 2 bottles a month. And they will support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. And that includes the fibers that are in the walls of the arteries, the veins, the hair color will come back. Okay. And so she knows she's absorbing when her hair color comes back. And then for the high blood pressure, I want her to take the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And don't cold turkey off the medication, but as the blood pressure begins to drop down into the normal range, she can slowly reduce her medication based on the number. Now, the memory thing may be helped with the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, which we've already talked about, because a lot of times people get what's called vascular dementia. They get blood, their arteries in their brain are blocked. They can't get enough oxygen and blood into the brain properly. So that's could be the source of the memory issues. Okay, it's called vascular dementia. And doctors may even call it Alzheimer's disease because they get paid more for treating Alzheimer's disease than they do vascular dementia. Okay, so that's why they'll call everything, even it used to be senile dementia, just getting old, you can't remember things. Well, that's because they had vascular dementia. Okay, so at any rate, I wanted to have 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks, soft boiled, soft poached, soft scrambled butter, because 75% of the brain weight is cholesterol. She cannot be on statin drugs. She cannot avoid cholesterol. She must be eating those 3 eggs twice a day so she can rebuild her brain. I also want her to have our de-stress capsules, 3 of those twice a day. It's 2 bottles a month, because 2 or 3 of the dementias are caused by the deficiencies for nutrients that are in that de-stress capsules. I want her to take 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. The Ultimate Niacin Plus, 1 of those twice a day. That's 1 bottle a month. And then I also want her to take our collagen. She can take our collagen peptide. She could take a dose of that at noontime, put a couple of scoops of the powder in her drink. She needs 5 of our glucogel capsules at breakfast and 5 at dinner time. That's 2 bottles a month. It's going to help rebuild her bones and so forth, which is what's going on. Does she complain about ringing in her ears or fast heart rate or anything like that?
Yes, she does.
Both? Yeah, she's got osteoporosis of the skull.
Just the
and
ringing in the ears, Dr. Wall.
Okay, she's got osteoporosis of the skull, that's for sure. Okay, and so we need to be contacted every couple of weeks and let us know what's going on. Her hair color coming back and the varicose veins going away, her hemorrhoids going away, those are telling you that she's absorbing these things. And it doesn't hurt for people to take, 1 hair analysis a year. And if you, in your business plan, if you're doing this longevity thing as a business, your business plan, you can have your longevity business pay for your health insurance, any health care needs there is, and plus your diet and your supplements, and they become tax deductible. And you can get literally thousands of dollars a month worth of tax deductions. And so just doing it for that, plus all your health and nutrition, those 2 things together are worth doing the longevity business. So give us a call on a regular basis. Everything this gal has here is either a direct nutritional deficiency or secondary to a gluten issue. So all those things being dealt with properly, it'll all go away.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. Next, let's go to Tanya with her hand up.
Tanya.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am. How can we help you?
I have my dad here with me, and he's 81 years old, so about the same age as you. He's 165 pounds, and we just saw a thoracic surgeon last week who thinks that he has lung cancer spots on both lungs. He thinks it's different lung cancer. So they do want to do that. My dad does have a history of COPD. He did smoke for most of his life, but he's quit smoking about 3 years ago. He does have a benign cyst on his kidney. I think they just said the other day, does have some issues with his gallbladder, I believe gallstones. He does have tinnitus, some vertigo, does struggle with cramping, but we have been able to get him on minerals and help with the COPD so that he's never had to go on oxygen.
Stop there a minute. Stop there a minute. Did he ever have
Okay.
hiccups? Did he ever have hiccups?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And did he ever have anything like AFib, irregular heart rate, or fast heart rate?
I think so.
No, he did go into the hospital a couple weeks ago because he did have some chest pain and he had coughed up a little bit of blood. And so they were doing some research on pulmonary embolism.
Okay. Yeah. There's many causes of spitting up blood. Could be a stomach problem, could be a lung problem. So we'll see. Okay, here we go. Until we find out more, it cannot hurt. It can be only a positive. Okay. If we give him the diet, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no barley, rye, and oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, including the diet ones. He needs to eat like an Asian, rice and sweet potatoes and beans and squash and that kind of stuff. Okay, stay away from the wheat, barley, rye, and oats. If he wants to drink beer, that's okay, but it's got to be a rice beer from Australia, New Zealand, or Japanese or Chinese. Cannot have Budweiser, which is made from wheat, right? Doesn't matter if you're drinking it or eating it, it's still gluten. Okay. That's why Michigan has the highest death rate in America. Little Michigan has the highest death rate from COVID because everybody's got a mini brewery in their basement making their own beer. Okay. And so, okay, here we go. And get rid of all the bad stuff. Then he needs to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. A full dose of breakfast, full dose of dinner time. I also want him to have 3 of our MSM tablets, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. That'll be 2 bottles a month. And they're designed to support and promote maintenance, repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes your bone itself. And then I also want him to take our ultimate enzymes, we call the gallbladder in a bottle. He could take 2 or 3 of those, say 5 to 10 minutes for each meal, a couple ounces of water. And that's going to help out there with the gallbladder issues. And then let's see here. I also want to take our ultimate daily classic tablets. You could take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. That's going to support and promote healthy blood flow through blocked arteries and help support healthy blood pressure. Does your dad have any thing going on with diabetes?
No.
No.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. Let's see here. Now on this cancer stuff, so there's just suspicion in it, but they don't have a diagnosis, right? And so what I want them to do is take our Fucoid Z capsules, take 3 of those twice a day. It has a fucoidin in it, which is legendary for supporting your immune system when you have cancer. So I'm going to take 3 of those twice a day. If finances are not an issue, we can take 3 times a day. I only weigh 142, and gosh, I've been taking 3 of the Fucoid Z capsules twice a day for over 25 years, along with all my other stuff. And that's going to help his immune system, especially if he does have something going on in his lungs. And so let's start there. And you want to, there's all kinds of ways to find out stuff. Okay. If he does have lung cancer, you want to say, well, let me do a hair analysis. You want to get a hair analysis on him. You can get the book, Rare Earths and Cures, go to chapter 10, tells you how to collect the hair, where to ship it and all that kind of stuff. We'll learn a lot about that. But I also want to know if he had COPD, okay, and he has hiccups, that's the skull squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, which control the lungs and the diaphragm, but also the recurrent branch of the 10th cranial nerve, which results in having hiccups. That's why I asked about hiccups, because there's guarantees that that 10th cranial nerve is what's being squeezed there, okay, by the skull. Okay, it's called the vagus nerve. It also causes terrible pain in the stomach. It's called gastroparesis. Did your dad have any appendicitis when he was a kid?
Yeah, had them out.
He's had them removed. Yes.
Yes.
He had
Okay.
them removed.
Okay. Well, appendicitis is caused by gluten. Okay, just like duodenal ulcers are caused by gluten. Irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease. Okay, celiac disease, diverticulitis, Crohn's disease. All those things are gluten, gluten, gluten. In fact, let's see here. Psoriatic arthritis is caused by gluten. Okay, lupus is caused by gluten. Okay, and so let's kind of go the direction we're going here. Make sure he adheres to the diet. And then they need to get a sputum test. You know, have him cough up mucus from his throat and see if there's any cancer cells in that, as opposed to cutting them open and taking biopsies and sticking them with needles and that kind of stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Because he has a lot going. Yeah, he has a lot going on there. You don't want to do any more trauma to him than is needed, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so call us every couple of weeks. You're going to have a great story, I believe.
Very good. Thank you so
Oh,
much, doctor.
Okay, Tanya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Tanya, thank you, and Dad too. Now, Dr. Wallach, we've got a question in regards to swimming in the Pacific. I know many years ago there was the radiation from the island and it got into the waters. Do you think that there's any harm in that radiation still today and being in the Pacific and swimming?
Well, here's where that hair analysis will give you some answers to the question. Okay. There's still a lot of living fish and porpoises and whales in the waters of the Pacific. There's still plants growing there. Okay. There's a lot of algae and seaweed and moss and all this kind of stuff growing in the ocean. Now they're not functioning properly. That's why the carbon dioxide is going up. I was a featured speaker for Tesla in 2019. The title of my presentation was A Prescription for Mother Earth. The DVD is available through Tesla. You can go online to them and say, I want Dr. Wallach's DVD from 2019 at their annual meeting. And then the written version of my presentation is in their magazine they made for that Tesla event in 2019. And so the reason why people ask those questions, obviously they're concerned, but you have to appreciate that fossil fuels and pollutants and stuff like that are not the problem. They're not why the carbon dioxide is going up. They're not why all the reefs are dying. When everybody has a Tesla car, we're going to have more carbon dioxide going up in the air than ever before. It has nothing to do with fossil fuels. What happened was, and this is an ironic thing. This is very ironic, Rebecca. We have 1 million hydroelectric dams all over the world in the big rivers to make electricity. To make electricity, we put these dams up and we cut off the food supply to the ocean. I looked up a dozen different PhD theses from marine biologists who studied the nutritional needs of algae, sea algae. They need 17 minerals to consume carbon dioxide and make something usable out of it. If any one of them 17 are low or missing, zero is going to happen. Nothing happens. And that's what happens. They've dammed up 1,000 dams in all the big rivers in the world, cut off the food supply to the ocean. There's 2 million dams. Okay. There's 1 million dams blocking up these rivers for electricity. There's 2 million dams for water conservation and irrigation. There's 400 million farm ponds that intercept little streams before they dump the minerals in the tributaries going into the big rivers. And so we've cut off the mineral supply to the ocean. And it's not enough to kill off all the algae. Just like when you get enough nutritional deficiencies to cause arthritis, you don't drop dead. You're just miserable. You can't function properly. The same way with the algae. They can't function properly and consume all the carbon dioxide, which is what they were built to do. 3/5 of the world's population of plants on the earth is in the ocean, 3/5. But if it can't take in the carbon dioxide like it was designed to do, that's what the plants need, is carbon dioxide. And if they can't utilize it because they're missing something or something is too low, what happens to that something? Keeps going up. They blame it on fossil fuel. Tesla was genius. He blamed it on fossil fuel so he could sell electric cars. He is a genius.
Oh, goodness. So when they say that minerals are the currency of life, it's absolutely true.
Yes.
Without
true.
minerals,
we're all going to be dead.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's plant life, whether it's the vegetation, the coral, the fish.
Well, the coral reefs. So many coral reefs have died. That's why the big coral reef, in Australia, okay, the Great Barrier Reef, is dying. It's almost there. And so I've been, trying to raise some awareness for that and what to do about it, because we got our blooming minerals. Okay, we can throw the blooming minerals all over that reef and stop its decline by giving it the minerals so that the polyps and the algae around the reef eat those minerals, and then the reef eats them. And then it can do its job by pulling the carbon dioxide out of the air. But that's just one reef, okay?
Right.
That needs to be, what we need to do is drill holes in all the dams and get an auger to suck all the minerals that are piling up and all the silt piling up behind the dams and get them downstream to feed the ocean. And the carbon dioxide will go, yeah, it'll just disappear in a week.
So progress is not always beneficial.
Well, there's always side effects. Okay, there's always, which I say, there's always some consequence. Okay, it could be a good consequence, it could be a nothing neutral consequence, or it could be a bad consequence. In the case of hydroelectric dams and water conservation dams, it was a negative because it cut off the food supply to the ocean, and so all the algae and seaweed and moss and kelp and all that kind of stuff in the ocean cannot do its job to consume the carbon dioxide. There's the problem. So if anybody wants to help with that, give us a call. Okay, you give out your numbers again. And this is unimpeachable information. That's why Tesla had me come speak at their big event in 2019. Well, they haven't asked me to come back since then because I've been beating up electricity. Okay. But what I did was I looked at the stuff, the amber, that's what I'm looking for, amber. I was looking at the amber from millions of years ago, and I was looking at the carbon dioxide levels in the amber from millions of years ago. And then there was a spike in the amber of carbon dioxide, and guess what? All the reefs died at that time, and the reefs, when they died, they became limestone. Limestone are dead reefs from the ocean. Limestone is dead reefs from the ocean. And it always was coincidental with the spike in carbon dioxide in the amber. Okay, and we learn. Isn't that interesting? That goes back millions of years ago.
Wow. Dr. Wallach, you are so full of information, and I love the fact that you've done so much of the research yourself. And you know, God really blessed your brain. That's
well, I give God all the credit, but when God says go do this, I go do it.
You better go.
I don't say, well, can you give me another reason, or can I wait? I'm telling you, Wallach, now. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, again, I just want to remind everybody that you are watching the Ask Doc Live program. We do have a website there at askdoclive.com with all of the products that are being mentioned today. But get back with the person that shared this program with you if you have any questions in regards to what you should take and get the products yourself. For those who have not spoken to anybody, we do have a call team that is standing by at 855-949-7234. This is specifically for people who are currently not customers and have never spoken to anybody in the past in regards to anything that Dr. Wallach has shared with you today. Let's go ahead and go to Uche. Uche, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Okay. Yeah,
hello.
Dr. Wallins. Hello, Dr. Wallins.
Hello.
This is Uche. Yeah. Okay, I've been on this product for almost 3 months, more than 3 months now. So I've been having the issue of blood pressure, low blood pressure, very low blood pressure. So I started adding a little bit of salt, more salt to my drink, my almond milk. Then it now came up, it came up to 103/75, but before it can be up to 86/50.
Okay, stop there a minute. Okay, stop there a
Yeah.
minute. Okay, how old are you, Uche? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 52.
52. How much do you weigh? Somebody's hammering in the background. You got to ask them to please stop hammering.
Yeah, it's somebody, they are hammering outside. I can't stop them. Yeah, I'm 5'1", 5 inches 1.
Okay, how much do you weigh?
I weigh 55, 56
kilograms.
Okay.
But I have an issue now.
Okay, wait a minute.
3 days ago.
Stop. You're saying you weigh 55 pounds?
Kilos, Dr. Wallach.
Oh, 55 kilos. Okay, that's 100 pounds. Okay, 100 pounds. All right.
Okay, just three days ago, my BP went. My BP went. My heart was beating very fast. Even right now, it's still beating fast. So the BP went up to 150 something over 90. So I have to call my doctor. My doctor now gave me BP medication, which I took, and it then dropped to 120 over 76. But right now, I'm still having the heart beating.
Okay, so the heartbeat, what's your pulse rate?
The pulse rate as of this morning, when I checked the pulse rate, it was 80. Yesterday it was 83. Then it was 87. Then later went down to 87. But this morning it went down to 71.
Okay, well these are normal pulse rates. Okay, so here you go. You weigh 100 pounds. And again, this is okay. Now you need to stop talking. I want you to listen. And if you would please, Rebecca, mute her because all that hammering in the background, I can't hear what's going on here. Thank you. Okay, and so she needs to stay away from all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat bioranos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet drinks got to go. I want her to eat like an Asian. Okay, she needs to eat like an Asian. Rice and sweet potatoes and maize, corn, beans, squash. And I want her to have one healthy brain and heart pack per month. I want her to get another bottle of our selenium. One bottle of our selenium comes with the healthy brain and heart pack, but I want her to take 3 of those twice a day. And so she needs to get another bottle of selenium because 1 bottle comes with the healthy brain and heart pack. Then I also want her to have 1 bottle a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 of those twice a day. And they're designed to support and promote maintenance and repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes a bone itself. And then I would also like her to use our Rebound sports drink. At her body weight, she could drink 1 or 2 of those a day, but she can't drink them after 3 o'clock because it'll probably keep her up all night. And let's see here. It wouldn't hurt also because she has all this emotional concern going on with her. She needs to take our de-stress capsules. She could take 3 of those twice a day. There's 2 bottles a month. And also want her to have the Fucoid C, okay, which is our 8-9 different algae and seaweed and kind of stuff like that. Fucoid Z, take 3 of those capsules twice a day. And that's going to be good for her bone marrow and her immune system and all that kind of stuff. And then call us every 2 weeks, but she can start the diet as soon as she hangs up the phone. It's going to take a couple of days to get, the order to her. Where does she live?
She's in Nigeria.
Nigeria. She's in Nigeria. Or is she from Nigeria?
She's in Nigeria.
Okay, well, it'll take a couple of weeks to get to her. Okay. I think we may have a warehouse.
Not
there.
yet. Not yet.
Okay.
But
Okay.
we figured out how to get it to them in a week, just over a week. So
Okay,
we're
good.
working on
Okay,
that.
thank you. Okay, thank you. So then I have an answer for that question if somebody asks me that later. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
All right, so Dr. Wallach, the next hand. Oh no, Uchi has another question in regards to her sister. Her sister is 53 years old, 5 foot 1 inch, 165 pounds. And she's having itching in the back by her shoulder blade, a lot of itching. She has taken the 90 essential nutrients. She's on the keto diet, taking MSM and collagen and glucogel, but she's wanting to know what else she can take or what might be causing that intense itching.
Okay, it could be gluten. Okay, so she's not absorbing everything efficiently. So it wouldn't hurt for her to double up on the EFAs and also hair, skin, and nails. 3 of those twice a day. Add that to her program. But make sure that she's drop dead gluten-free so she can absorb all these things. And she may have to, like myself, I weigh 142, and I take 3 of the EFAs twice a day and 3 of the FA pluses twice a day. Okay. And so I've been doing that for, 50 years. And my skin is, if people don't think I'm 82 years old, you look at my skin, it looks pretty good for 82.
It looks really good for 82, Dr. Wallach. I wish mine looked that good.
Well, it must be the fact that 3 days a week, I sit out in the California sun for a half hour in my t-shirt. It's just roll up my sleeves over my shoulders. And so I get my arms and my face in the sun for a half hour, 3 days a week, so I don't look too ghostly.
Are you saying I look ghostly?
Ghostly.
All right, next hand up, Dr. Wallach, is Priscilla. Priscilla, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Priscilla.
I've been on the program for a year. I'm 25, I weigh 115, and I'm 5'2". A thing to note, I was diagnosed with celiac disease, but I've been drop dead gluten-free for about a year and a half. But one thing I can't get rid of is really bad wrist pain on both wrists, and it kind of goes up all the way to the fingers and starts at the elbow. So I was wondering what else I could do for that.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you have any ringing or tinnitus in your ears, or humming or whooshing or anything like that?
From time to time, I get the
Comes
ringing.
and goes.
Yeah.
Okay, comes and goes. Okay, yeah, that's called tinnitus. Do you have any balance or vertigo or dizziness problems?
Yes, but it's getting better.
Okay, good. Okay, well, both the vertigo and dizziness problems and the tinnitus, the ringing in the ears, is due to osteoporosis of the skull. Now, people tend to think of osteoporosis as a disease of seniors over age 65, that kind of stuff. Babies are born with osteoporosis. If the mother doesn't have enough nutrition during pregnancy to give the baby all the nutrients they need, the baby's born with osteoporosis. It's called Herpes palsy, because oftentimes they'll be paralyzed from the neck down when they're born because they have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the spinal cord. Okay, kind of thing. So it's one of those deals where age is not a factor here. So you need to, and everybody hang out with, whether it's a roommate, renter, spouse, friend, brother and sister, mom and dad, dog and cat, everybody's got to be drop dead gluten-free. You cannot work in a bakery, that kind of stuff. You cannot go to spaghetti factory, even if you're only eating salads, because you're gonna get cross-contaminated, that kind of thing. You can have pizza, but the crust has got to be gluten-free. It's got to be cauliflower and rice flour and that kind of stuff. You cannot have toast and Wheaties and cream of wheat and oatmeal. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. Even ice cream, you got to read the labels. I eat ice cream every day, but I get gluten-free. It has a symbol on it, plus it says gluten-free underneath the symbol. And then, I mean, you got to be drop dead, read labels. Even if it says gluten-free, you want to read the label. It says, oh, it's got oatmeal in there. And then you call them up and say, oh, it's gluten-free oatmeal. Well, there's no such thing as gluten-free oatmeal. Okay, the gluten in oats is called gliadin. You didn't really call it gliadin. It's still oatmeal, right? Just like, is fuel the same as gasoline? It's still gasoline, even though you call it fuel. Okay, same principle. So again, let's see, you're 115 pounds, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
5'2" and 25 years old.
Okay, good. So I want you to take, again, this is for our listening audience, because you already said you've been on this for a couple of months. So 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. I want you to get another bottle of our selenium, so you can take 3 hours selenium twice a day. I want you to take half a dose of everything else twice a day of that's in the healthy brain and heart pack, except for the selenium, because you're going to take 3 of those at breakfast and 3 at dinner time, because you get another bottle. I want you to get 1 bottle a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 of those twice a day, and they will support and promote maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone ratios, all that kind of stuff. And just really, really, really be proactive and aware. So celiac disease is kind of the doctor's way of saying you have a gluten problem. Oh, I've got celiac disease. I need to see my doctor. But he should have said, you got celiac disease, it's a gluten issue, just stay away from gluten. But did they ever do that? No. Because they want to keep you as part of the herd.
Right.
Okay. You know what a dairy farmer does to the herd of dairy cattle?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's why they use the word celiac disease instead of gluten.
Also, when I started the program, I had psoriasis on like almost 90% of my body, and now it's almost all gone, thankfully. But they tried to tell me that I have like psoriatic arthritis, and that was the cause of the wrist pain, and to get on medication for that, but I refused.
Yeah, good. No, it's your skull squeezing your spinal cord as it comes out of the back of the skull, because then you get the cervical nerves and the upper first 4 spinal nerves, which control your hands and your wrists and all that kind of stuff. A lot of times doctors say, oh, you have carpal tunnel syndrome, we need to do surgery, and those kind of things. But it's actually your skull squeezing the spinal cord. Okay.
Thank you.
That'll go away. Just take your vitamin D3 twice a day. Be sure you're taking your glucogel You can take your body weight. You can take 3 of those twice a day. So 1 bottle a month will do. Wouldn't hurt to take a dose a day of the collagen peptides, which has 4 different sources of collagen instead of 1, which is in the glucogel. Let's see here. You don't have any high blood pressure or diabetes?
No.
Okay. And you say most of your other issues are pretty much gone?
Right.
Okay, good. So you're obviously absorbing. You've been doing a good job on the celiac disease thing. I mean, just this is for life. And don't forget, you want some more energy. Don't forget the rebound. Your body weight, you could have, say, 1 or 2 per day, but don't drink them after 3 o'clock because it'll keep you up all night. Okay. And then call us. Now, let me ask you a question. Are you coloring your hair or wearing a wig, or do you have some gray hair?
No, it might just, I don't have gray hair, but it might be the lighting. It's like overcast.
Okay. Because I see a little bit of shiny in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. God bless you. And you need to tell your story, Priscilla. Give us a call, okay, every couple of weeks, and give us a status report and a testimony, because your story is going to help so many middle-aged people between the ages of 25 and 60, because they all, you know, if they're not doing the diet and supplementing, they all get this stuff. And say, well, you got to expect that you're 60 years old. No, it's not an age thing. It's nutritional deficiency because of diet. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. You see, you're going to wind up being one of God's angels because you're going to have a great story. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeehaw. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Priscilla. Dr. Wallach, Uchi had a little more that she wanted to
Okay.
ask of
Okay.
you.
Well, here's what I want you to do. You get the question and give it to me, because I have a hard time.
I've got it. So she has been having hot flashes, and we put her on Stay Balanced to help with hormonal balance. And her blood pressure actually went up to 162 over 99. And she could hear her heart really heavy, and her body felt real heavy, even though it was only beating at 88.
Okay.
Now, is there something different she should use for hormonal balance? Because she is having hot flashes.
Okay. She needs to eat 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks.
Okay.
Okay. She cannot be on statin drugs to lower cholesterol. Then I want her to take our Xerafem. I want her to take 3 of those twice a day.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
And tell her to watch out, because she can get pregnant.
I think she heard you.
Okay.
All right. So let's try to do one more call, Dr. Wallach. We are coming close to the top of the hour. And
Okay.
Diana, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how can we help you?
Yes, I'm 53 years old. I'm 5'6". I weigh 158 pounds, and
Okay.
I have RA for 10 years. I was on the medication for Embrel, Cimzia, now in Simponi, but I just don't believe that that's the way to go, because I used it for 3 years and stopped it. And
Okay, I got it.
again. Yeah.
Okay, thank
so
you.
I don't
We
wanna,
only have a
yeah.
we only have a moment here, so I want to get to your answer for you.
Yeah.
Let's see. So you have some gray hair. Do you have any varicose veins? Do you have any varicose veins?
No.
Any spider veins? Any hemorrhoids?
No.
Okay. Did you ever have any asthma as a kid or appendicitis?
No.
Okay. Any skin issues? Eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis?
I think so. I think sometimes I have to scratch and I get blood out of it because on my hands.
A little bit. Okay, a little bit itchy. Okay. All right. Well, rheumatoid arthritis is 2 diseases. Okay. It's just a simple nutritional deficiency arthritis, and it's got a secondary infection with a bug called mycoplasma, which gives off an RA factor, and so they call it rheumatoid arthritis. This mycoplasma is killable, easily killable with an antibiotic called minocycline, like the little bait fish, minocycline. Okay. So you need to get a 6 to 8 weeks prescription from your rheumatologist for minocycline. And then if he won't give the prescription, say, okay, you're fired. And you get on the phone, you start calling rheumatologists around your area and say, will you write me a prescription for 6 to 8 weeks for minocycline? I have rheumatoid arthritis. I want to kill the mycoplasma. He'll know where you're coming from. Okay. And so but then also at 158 pounds, I want you to take, so you need a 6 to 8 week dose, not a 2 week dose, but a 6 to 8 week dose. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's the minocycline. Then I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. I want you to get 1 bottle a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 twice a day, and we'll support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes bone itself. I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our glucogel, so you can take 5 of those twice a day. I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our Fucoid Z capsules, so you can take 3 of those twice a day to support your immune system. And lastly, for discomfort and pain, you can use our CM cream, stir it up real good every morning because the cream settles at the bottom, water comes to the top, you get mixed results. But if you stir it up every morning, the CM cream, and then per teaspoon of CM cream you're going to use on your knees, or your hips, or arms, or shoulders, or neck, wherever you're hurting, with 5 drops of our trauma oil, mix it up real good and apply that to wherever you're hurt. You will have pain relief for a couple of hours, okay? And usually within a couple of weeks, the pain goes away, and within 6 to 8 weeks, you're no longer a rheumatoid arthritis patient, okay? Because you've killed the bug with that minocycline antibiotic. Takes 6 to 8 weeks to do that. And and you may talk to 3 or 4 or 5 or 8 or 10 of these rheumatologists before one will say, yeah, I'll write you a prescription for that. Come on in, I'll give you an examination, write you a prescription. Okay, but you're gonna have to talk to a bunch of them for them to write you that prescription because they're interested in this, okay?
Yes.
Got it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so give us a call because you're gonna have a great testimony, okay? And your hair color will slowly come back because that shows that you're absorbing nutrients, because the loss of hair color, gray, white, silver, is due to a nutritional deficiency. It's the same nutritional deficiency that causes varicose veins, spider veins, hemorrhoids, and also a breakdown of connective tissue, includes the walls of arteries and veins. I've got just enough time to take a minute here and tell you the story of a guy by the name of Michael Jackson. Are you old enough to remember Michael Jackson?
Yes.
Great black entertainer. He started when he was a kid singing, just a beautiful kid, but he was very, very dark black kid. By the time he was 12, he's starting to get vitiligo. His skin, he's getting big white blotches on his skin. And he goes to the doctor with his mom. The doctor says, look, you got vitiligo. It's a genetic thing, and black folks, there's nothing we can do about it. We just wear long sleeve shirts so nobody sees it. It's starting to happen in his hands. So just wear gloves with jewelry in it. And everybody thought that was his persona for his entertainment, but he was covering the fact that his hands were as white as typing paper. And then he started getting white hair. He's only 18 years old. He got snow white hair, so he had to wear wigs. Okay, and then he had garish makeup on his face because his face, I just saw some pictures of him when he was 40 years old a couple of days ago. And his skin was as white on his face as typing paper. And he had all this makeup on and all, fake tattoos on his face with makeup and so forth to kind of distract from the fact that his skin was snow white, and wore wigs and everything. And he died at age 51 of a ruptured aortic aneurysm. Aneurysms are caused by breakdown of the elastic fibers and the connective tissue in the walls of arteries. It's a nutritional deficiency. The same nutritional deficiency causes vitiligo, loss of skin color, white, gray, and silver hair, breakdown of the elastic fibers in your veins, so you get varicose veins and spider veins and hemorrhoids. And so these are all red warning lights. You're going to die of a ruptured aneurysm, either in your brain or your heart, if you don't get off all this gluten and start taking your nutrients, as your body's telling you. Okay. And so he didn't, his doctors are always giving him misinformation. And so that's why he died of a ruptured aneurysm at age 51.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for.
Thank you.
Well, you're going to have a great story. So please get on with us every couple of weeks and, give us a status report and a progress report or lack of progress report. We'll walk you through this because rheumatoid arthritis is one of the easiest things to get rid of. It is not autoimmune. It's not genetic. It's bone-to-bone arthritis from nutritional deficiencies with a secondary infection from the mycoplasma bug. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, God bless you, Diana. Is Diana? All right. Okay, Rebecca.
Dr. Wallach, if I may interrupt, this is Ruth Ellen. I did post in the chat the link for the RA treatment that you can get from rheumatology.org. And I believe that it's also posted on Ask Doc Live.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Ruth Ellen, thank you so much. Yeah, you did send that to me a month or so ago, right? And I've been giving that out to people when I'm sitting at my desk. So thank you so much. That's one of the 10 million reasons we love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach. I love you too.
Okay. All right. Okay, Rebecca.
Dr. Wallach, we're out of time.
Okay.
So I just want to thank you so much for taking this 2 hours with us. I want to thank everybody who jumped on this call live. We had so many comments and questions and hands raised that we didn't even get to maybe half of them, Dr. Wallach, which just proves a lot of people are waking up and really realizing that there is a better way.
We all need help. We all need help.
We do. We all need help. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. Again, if your question did not get answered, and I know there were a few questions that I have personally answered through email, check your email. You can go to askdoclive.com and there is a contact us there where you can ask your questions and we'll get you some answers. And these are the protocols that Dr. Wallach would recommend as well for the conditions that are shared in the email. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to John T. McCollier, our technical guru in the background, and Ruth Ellen Sanchez, who's helping keep the room clean and make sure there's nobody trying to make disruptions. And Nasima Omar, thank you so much for my co-hosts. Without you, this would not be possible. And especially a huge thank you to Dr. Joel Wallach as being one of the amazing treasures that we have that we're able to share with others, all the stuff that's in his brain.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca. You're a dear. We love you so much. Thank you. And John T. and Ruth Ellen and Nasima and the whole team. We just love you so much and appreciate you. You're all God's angels and we respect you for it. God bless.
God bless you, Dr. Wallach. And thank
Bye-bye.
you, team. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week, same place, same time for Ask Doc Live. You can also find the replays on our website, askdoclive.com. And we also have those replays on our YouTube channel with Critical Health News. Bye for now.